Well, hello, everyone, and happy spring. Thank you again for joining us tonight. It will be a night where music and meaning meet through the voice of Aurora's very own Kevin Trudo. We are streaming it all live from the venue directly into your living room or onto your phone or into your computer, wherever you're at. There will be a link posted for donations tonight. If you have the means, please donate. All the money collected tonight will benefit both Kevin and the venue. Now, grab some snacks, get a beverage, cozy up, and settle back for a great night of live music. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Trudeau.
Well, hi. So I did this last July here, and what I did was like deeply personal and deeply scripted, and so earlier this year, Scott Tipping reached out and asked if I wanted to do it again, and I'm not as bright as I am brave, and I said, sure, and let's do it. And then I started to agonize, and I started to script and write out. I had this whole concept and this whole idea, and I was going to find a way to invite everybody out there into my head, because there's this weird wall now, right? We've got a screen between us. And then last week I was talking to my wife, and I'm like reminding her, like, next Wednesday I'm going to the venue and we're going to do this thing. And she's like, I hope it's not so depressing. So I doubted everything I wrote. And I ultimately reread and scrapped and started over. It was the weekend and it was Easter, and I'll tell you what I went to do. I wanted to pull everybody into my head and talk about all these things that make me do what I do and try and connect in a way. And there was all this like meaning, and it kind of tied up at the end to a little bow. And I don't have a bow anymore, but I have a theme, and the whole theme, having looked back at the last year and having been told not to be depressing, is loneliness, which I don't think anymore is depressing. And I don't have a script. I have a list of songs in front of me, and I'm going to sing to them, and I'm going to tell you what they mean to me and how they relate to this whole overarching thing. There was this Wilco song about how to beat loneliness, and I'm more interested in how you embrace it. The first thing I'm going to do here is, it's a song called Once a Week Won't Kill You. And it's not about me at all. It's entirely made up about a guy I never met, and books he wrote. But it talks about what I think we think loneliness is, which is not what I think it is anymore. That'll make sense, I hope. I don't know what I'm going to say. At some point in the show, while everybody's laughing, you realize the tears aren't just painted on his grease paint running, and his smile not touching his eyes. Now the big top's emptied out, and you're there in the parking lot, wondering what it is that you missed. 'Cause everybody's holding their sides while you cry. Somewhere in New England, you're slamming doors in her face, and every word that she writes about leaving, but you stay. So you shake out a cigarette and a fold of matches. The student you were riding to left. She could swallow you, but she just can't stomach him. And you try our religion and you rewrite your history, but you're wondering if the phony hears you. Whether sitting in a bathtub or going for a swim. Somewhere in Manhattan, not air, out of place. And every word that you write, so lonely, but you stay. Somewhere in all this, there must be something I miss. But all I know is what I know. What I know is all I know, and what I know is this. At some point in the show, everybody's laughing. You realize the tears aren't just painted on, 'cause his grease paint's running and his smile's not touching his eyes. And now the big top's emptied out and you're there in the parking lot, wondering what it is that you missed. 'Cause everybody's holding their sides while you cry. Because I thought, I don't know, sometimes I do think that being lonesome and being lonely are the same thing, and that it's all bad, right? It's just this unequivocal, terrible thing. But over the last year, I'm admittedly a fairly social human being, and I've seen, I don't know, very few people, a few in my garage, my family extended a couple times. And there's been a lot of space, and I think you go after that after a certain amount of time in a house. It's a little ranch, you know. I was talking before this, and I think it was Larry, and I said I don't really sing much, so I'm gonna sound terrible. Like not no one, but I have a 9-year-old son, and he thinks I should be quieter most of the time. And so you just tend to not be you, in a way. But I don't know. I think we all exist, and that existence depends on the relationships. Whether that relationship is the relationship to your job or the thing you do, the things you make. In my experience, I was 20 and not really dating and not really interested in that. It was all about what I could make up. And then later on, as I got a family and I fell in love and married that person, you start to define yourself in your relation to them, and you can't exist. I mean, there's a world of these Japanese paintings where they all paint Mount Fuji, and it's a reference point, right? It's just a thing that tells you where you are in the world. And now I'm 46 years old, and all the things that used to tell me who I was in the world changed, and a number of them went away. The work for me, some of the vocational things, some of the playing, some of the getting out in front of people and singing, and that doesn't exist for me. This is a strange, empty room, mostly with no applause or feedback. I'm hoping I'm hitting you, and I have no idea. So we're going to start with a song here that I wrote. Not start. You know what I mean. We're going to move on with the song as I talk about the way I've defined myself in relationships and the way that I've thought about loneliness. And so this is 3 relationships I got really wrong. It's called Another Girl That I Forgot About Till Now. And like all the wisdom in my life, it was all I looked back at it and caught it. And it wasn't that I ever forgot anybody. The first girl, there was a connection, and I valued the whole thing on the nature of the connection. And the second, there was no connection, and I valued the entire relationship on the way that person failed to love me. And the third, it was someone that, it was a connection I didn't appreciate at the time. I'm going to sing it for you and hope it hits. That's all the framing I think I feel like doing at this point. But when she found me, she was already gift wrapped, dipped in wax, ready to peel. And she could bend like an acrobat or liar, giving softly to a kneel. The pelvis in my hands, thin and hungry, spinning subtle orbits, inches off the bed sheets. The thing we understand was both covenant and also a license for release. As much evening and act as a vow, another girl that I forgot about till now. In some September, as the summer said, she spoke. It was just some party, just some night. And me distracted by the appetite I'm killing, and her unconscious of my fight. But she blooms under the light of what I want from her and achingly unfolds. I set myself aside, sink beyond the pale of going home alone. She gave me all the nudity she could allow, another girl that I forgot about till now. There's a snapshot I came across unpacking. I was afraid to let it go, afraid of losing where my memories been lacking, and I was right to worry so. In that complicated time, both of us entangled, adrift between relationships, clinging hard one to the other, real things alive that never made it to our lips. Should have forced it out somehow, another girl that I forgot about till now. That seems, when I tried to put this all together, the wrong loneliness. It's not a building a reserve. It's not a it's not taking advantage of being alone. It's superimposing you on other people, and it doesn't work. For me, I moved on and finally met someone, the girl in the third verse, if you will, and somehow, through several disasters, we landed in the same room again, and I forgot for a while how to be lonely. And I wrote her this song when I thought she was gone. I almost never write a song right about somebody. I always try to hide them or hide me in it somehow. I don't know what that means exactly, but you blur the details so that nothing incriminates you. Always think of you undressed, like a Polaroid we never took. And if I seem underimpressed, do you know what I'd give for one more look? I often think of how you fold arcing at the throat and hip, and if I'm wiser, I'm infinitely old, mostly just too dumb to quit. And I only think of you in metric, or in Celsius degrees. Our two orbits not resembling concentric, the way our bodies seem to be. And oh, cruel world, I hope for a deeper point of view of you. I always think of you as wishing, like paper matches or dry leaves. Maybe late, yeah, but dreaming of ignition. Do you ever dream of me? And I can palpably remember, did I find it in a book? Our bodies dovetailed perfectly together, Polaroids we never took. Polaroids we never took. Well, sorry, I have to occasionally check my bionic pancreas. I'm diabetic. So loneliness was a thing I forgot how to do for a while. And I look back, as this isn't a linear story. And I thought about another relationship I'd had, and out of that, what's probably the cruelest song I've ever written. And I've written a couple, but I was in a relationship, and I ignored that person for a long time, and things ended bad, but they ended bad because I ignored that person. This song is the weird, I can't say justification, it was, and again, I made up parts of it, and some of it's not her, but I'm not laughing because I'm proud, I'm uncomfortable, but I wrote a song for you to make you feel bad. Did it hurt? Did it burn? Just to strike your guilt and hear it resonate. I never let you down. Did that hurt? Your voices, your voices, your voices. Would you like another love song, sweet to strangers, but bitter in only your mouth? In that second verse, there's that hesitation, some artifact from before it went south. And in the chorus is the killing stroke, some small sacrifice that only lengthens your doubt. Your voices, your voices. Voices. Sunburned and overexposed, just like April, dirty and cold. Every morning is a manifest, it's a declaration, it's careful drawing of lines. From each chance to fall back, capitulate, metastasize, 'cause 'cause every inch you move into anger, I'm malignant, freshly aligned. Your voice is, your voice is, your voice is. While our exposure gathers consent, every day engraves regret. I suspect it's not all in your head. Yeah. Back to the thing I'm trying to get at. In the arc I was thinking about when I first scripted this, that's now gone, I was telling the whole story, right? I started out with a song that when I look back, is about courting and then about getting and not wanting. And then I follow with a song that's about losing and not wanting to have lost. And just the discrepancy of expectation that way. And I got to tie that back now that I'm not talking about relationships necessarily to loneliness. And so this song deals heavily in what happens when you don't want to lose, but you do. And you don't want the gap, but you got it. And it sounds, or it sounded to me, for a big chunk of it, like this was a song about how you handle that loneliness, but it's about how you keep putting your feet in front of you. I'm gonna just do the song. Spilled into my day, spilled all over my week. Damn near ruined the year, but I'm gradually finding my feet. Was all I could think, was all I could say. I cried till I got sick of myself, but I finally threw it away. I drank way too much, I did too much cocaine. I listened to every sad song and I dreamt about running away. I know it's my fault. You don't have to keep score, but when you were around, I stayed underground, and I ain't going back there no more. The taste is so sweet, but the gravity's strong. Nothing that will kiss us or kill us ever continues for long. No, nothing that would hurt us or help us ever does either for long. know it went south, and I know you kept score. But when there was an us, I hated myself so much. You ain't got that power no more. Somewhere in there is where I'm trying to go here and what I want to get at. We're going to go right into the next song, and then I'll explain what this one means to me. I got a memory of you asleep in the back of my car with REM sync on a volume I hoped would let you sleep. We're driving to Moab 'cause I wanted to see hoodoos and balancing rocks. I'm pretty sure now there was nothing there that you wanted to see. That didn't stop me. Things like that never did. It's been some years now, and I got perspective, and I've got some doubt, and it sticks me still, scared of myself just like years before. Older men shouldn't write songs when all we got left is advice and regret. 'Cause whether you heard it or you just started like that never did. When I look at the whole story of my life, it's a story where I was stuck in me. Marriage has been hard, mostly because I've been stuck in me. And you're with another person who's mostly stuck in them. And so you wind up guessing why they're doing things, and usually you guess wrong, and you guess what they meant by this, or how they should have been prescient enough that this would hurt you. And of course they wouldn't know that. Only you would, and you barely knew that. You didn't know it hurt till it hurt. And in the end, you're talking about something that isn't even the real thing, and the real thing tends to be, I don't know how to be lonely. And now I'm not, and I'm really afraid I'm going to be. And that gets overwhelming. So when I played the last song was called Memory, and it's entirely made up. But the idea tends to be that, I think I wanted to paint this picture of somebody that went on a vacation with somebody, and in the back of their head knew the whole time that that person didn't want to go, but still was putting all the hope that this vacation would fix the things wrong with them. When unfortunately this vacation was the things wrong with them. And I don't know how many vacations I've forced people into. And I don't know how many times I've tried to get the things I thought I needed in the same sort of backward, sideways way. And I've got some pretty good money out in therapy trying to sort of unravel some of that, and I don't have it yet. But here's what happened last year. There was no buffer with family that you were with. And there was no other people to blame for your mood. And there was no other day, that you could say, well, this happened out there, because everything was in here for me. It was insular and a closed system, and it was so good because I learned how to be lonely, how to look around and see these people in my life, my kids and my wife and the friends who text me and who called or would stop by, and we'd have a glass of whiskey on the back patio, and I'd realize that none of them can fill. They just can't. I can't keep trying to fix a love with a vacation they don't want. And in the arc that's abandoned and that's gone, this was the part of the story where I was talking about the relationship being gone and me looking back at it, starting to finally value it. I don't think it means that anymore. I mean, it does, but everything means everything, right? The author dies, and this is stupid because the author sits here and tries to tell you what he meant, and it doesn't have to mean any of that. You do you, right? You take this song, and if there's something in a line that, says that old men shouldn't write songs when all we got left is advice and regret, and you go, hey, that resonates, then it doesn't matter what I meant, right? But this happened. Most of it didn't, but I did drive by a girl I dated in high school's house, and I drive by it all the time. And once every 100 times I pass it, I notice it, and once out of every 100 times, maybe a third of those, not even, a fifth, I don't know, a tenth, a blue moon, it hits me. And all that stuff about trying to get somebody to love you on a vacation that they didn't want, it hits you. And I think, while I didn't know it at the time, that's what I wrote, although some of this stuff didn't happen. But it worked really well when I put this together the first time, because like in one of the early songs I talked about April, and then another one I talked about April, and it's April. So we're going to just abandon any context for this song, and I'm going to play it just because I want to. But back to loneliness in a few. Drive by your childhood home, my heart goes septic and I lose my stomach. And I don't understand, 'cause I remember you well. We parted kindly and I don't miss you, but not all. The mathematics of our hearts are sound. The echoes scarcely resemble that initial report. And not all of the things we plant can take in this ground. Left out all of the good things when I turn around. All the time between April and August, I empty my pockets and I tear out the walls, always to be followed by something like hunger or blood in the bathtub as you turn on yourself. But not all. Mathematics of our hearts are sound. The echoes scarcely resemble that initial report. And not all of the things we plant can take this ground. I missed out and all of these good things when I turn around. Not all the mathematics of our hearts are sound. The echoes of scarcely resemble that initial report. all of the things we plants can take in this ground. I missed out on all of the good things when I turned around. And I just think all these years of writing stuff down, I'm trying not to say shit. Oops. After all these years of writing it all down, every so often I get kind of close. I don't want to talk about loneliness for a minute. I want capo again. I don't want to play another song. Choose the other one. God, I wish you were here. I know that sounds strange to say when I have no idea who I'm saying it to, because I don't have any clue. I don't get to see the scroll at the bottom. I don't know who's here, but it would be so much cooler if we were all here. And I got vaccinated. My last dosage was a week ago, this last Monday, so I'm like a couple of days from like full effectiveness. And I really want to see y'all. I drew a card for you, and I drew the star for you, and I drew a hangman for me. And I had it tattooed on my arm. It's a totem to keep me from harm. I made a cup of tea for you, and I tried to read the leaves for you, and I lit a cigarette for me. I was wishing that I could say we. So far it's still you and me. But Gemini, am I? Wind and sky, am I? Feeling fire for you. Lost and scared, am I? Blank stare, am I? Sailing high and enjoying the view. Try to find a place for you where I could get a taste of you, and I planted roses for me. But before I would cover the seeds, I dropped in a small piece of me. Try to make a nest for you, 'cause I wanted rest for you, and I hung myself in a tree with my ankles supporting the weight, and praying the bough doesn't break while I'm quiet and coiled like a snake. Gemini, am I? Open sky, am I? Blowing ashes on you. Too much beer, am I? Always near, am I? Spreading out and enveloping you. 'Cause just my will sat very still, but somehow you still notice me. I cut my thumb and left all the blood in places I thought that you'd see. was found upside down in a tree. That's been the bulk of what I wanted to get at today. The last year has been a gift. I am never going to have another chance to be so reflective, to be so dedicated to working on being okay, to healing, to building relationships with the people that matter the most to me, to really listening when I piss my wife off, or really listening when I'm being unreasonable with my son, or really listening for my stepdaughter doesn't tell you when she's hurting, but if you watch, and I learned more. I don't know what you guys did last year. I got lonely. And I got to know myself. And I got to bond and get closer to people I wouldn't have otherwise been able to do that with. I'm going to play one more song. And I'm going to hold it together, I promise. I've never played this one before in front of anybody. And I didn't write it. And you probably know it. I grew up with this song. Like, in a lot of ways, it was kind of a staple of the radio when I was a kid, FM radio when I was young. And again, I'm not a young guy, but it's still getting played. I hear it all the time. Then it got covered in the 90s by somebody, and so I kind of learned it again, and I'm kind of like, oh, that was interesting. And it's really great because probably a year ago I would have told you this was about, I've sang this song a lot to myself over the last year, and I would have told you it's a lot about a relationship falling apart. This building makes noises. I love it. It just groaned at me. Too sour venue? It's getting better. I would have told you it was about losing. I would have told you it was about everything falling apart. And it might have been. I have no idea, and I don't care. We talked about the death of the author. Whoever wrote it, they're done. It's mine now. And I'm going to sing it to you, and when I sing it to you, it's going to be reframed as somebody that looked at something that could go either way, whether it was a marriage or your relationship with your kids or your job, or I don't know what you value. I don't know what your relationship is and how you define yourself. But this song seems to be about the relationship we have with the things around us and how that reflects back on us. And it's a question. It's not an answer. And I got that wrong for a very long time. Took my love, took it down. Climbing the mountain, I turned around, and I saw my reflection in a snow-covered hill. Till the landslide brought it down. Mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child in my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tide? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Oh. 'Cause I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I build my life around you. 'Cause time makes you bolder, even children get older. I'm getting older too. Cause I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I build my life around you. Time makes you older, even children get older. I'm getting older too. You take my love, you take it down. You climb a mountain and you turn around. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hill, will the landslide bring it down? And if you saw my reflection in the snow-covered hill, will the landslide bring you down? Will the landslide bring you down? Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Last time I got so many kind emails and friend requests and things like that. Do it again. I want to see you soon.